The conservative political activist Charlie Kirk has died after being shot in the neck during an event at Utah Valley University earlier this afternoon. The 31-year-old was the CEO and the co-founder of Turning Point USA, a conservative organization. CBS News confirmed there had been threats against Kirk. A Utah Valley spokesperson says a suspect is not in custody. A motive is not known at this time. President Trump just posted on Truth Social the following: the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you. The statement there from President Trump as Charlie Kirk, we are told now, has died. Scott MacFarlane, our justice correspondent, with me now from Washington. Scott, when it comes to the investigation, we were told earlier that there was a suspect, and now we're told that person has been let go.
Yeah. Most Dems, liberals, leftists, and progressives I've seen have condemned this. MAGA influencers and at least one Congresswoman, Anna Paulina Luna, is going very hard against Dems. You know, I've seen a lot of like just straight up unequivocal condemnations, but I just know how these things go, and it's really predictable how this plays out, at least on social media in the next few days. Just going to turn into a cesspool of, you know,
September 10th, 2025, 12:20.
Opportunists looking to capitalize on, you know, what is a really horrible tragedy. I just don't think we should be paying much attention to the commentary right now. That's my perspective. You know, I'm seeing takes go back and forth about, you know, performative this, and people don't really give a shit about that. And, you know, if it's true that his wife and kids were there, like a mother and two kids, you know, watched their father get shot to death, which is just this horrific thing that I think like right now it's okay to just like focus on that and just forget about the political commentary right now. I mean, you guys come to listen, like we do political commentary on this channel or whatever, but this is a really fucked up, horrible moment for so many different reasons. I think like one of the best things that we can do right now is not add to that. You know what I mean? They're going to write about this moment in history books. This is like a historical thing. I don't know. Just seeing it fucked me up. Seeing it really fucked me up. The video itself, the close-up of it was just horrific. And I just can't even imagine being a little kid if you fucking, God forbid, if she witnessed that, if his kids witnessed that happen to him.
Democrats could learn in their engagement digitally.
Just be normal for like a little bit, you know, just like
to reach
keep it frosty for a little bit.
As anyone may recall from last year, the big takeaway was that the Republicans.
What did Ted Cruz retweet? Right Angle News reported a Democrat just shot Charlie Kirk in the neck, and then Ted Cruz quote retweeted that. What? We don't fucking know anything about the shooter yet. The shooter hasn't even been caught yet, bro. Like, maybe you're right, but like that's crazy to repost something like that in the official capacity of a senator to be posting stuff like that.
An assassination attempt and said she was
like, this is what I'm talking about. Like the worst actors on the internet are all going to be jockeying to leverage this moment for in an attempt to like rip the country apart. That's what's going to happen. Just the worst merchants of slop on the internet are just going to jump on this thing, and just we all fucking suffer as a result of this stuff. How many times does it have to happen? Like there have been multiple instances of people that were like somewhat psychotic, that don't really have any coherent politics. They were just like obviously mentally not well, who ended up being the perpetrator of the violence. So for all we know, this person was another one of those, you know. Very oftentimes, like these people have completely incoherent politics that don't make any sense. It's obviously wildly irresponsible to immediately blame Democrats. Like these people are, you know, invested in just ripping the fucking country apart at the seams. Stephen Miller, just, you know, 11 minutes ago. Our hearts are shattered. America has lost one of its greatest champions. A loving family has lost the most extraordinary husband and father. All of us must now dedicate ourselves to defeating the evil that stole Charlie from this world. defeating the evil that stole Charlie from this world. Just to be clear, he means like liberals in the left. I think we're going to see a really intense response from the federal government. Like, it would not shock me if we got reports, you know, today and tomorrow of like federal law enforcement showing up at content creators' houses, you know, showing up at people like that post on the internet, you know, to like grill them about stuff. Like, I think they're gonna do something. Like, there's gonna be some kind of like unhinged response to this. How can you say that without knowing who the shooter is? I mean, you know, I'm just translating for you. This is what Stephen Miller means. You know, all of us now must dedicate ourselves to defeating the evil that stole Charlie from this world. I have no idea what happens. You know, I have no idea what happens, but I could see the president abusing the federal government in a moment like this to like harass people that are, you know, vocal opponents of his, or, you know, Charlie Kirk's in the past. Mike from PA tweeted out a clip of the film Malcolm X with the caption, "Don't ask me about no Charlie Kirk."
Your neighbor's barnyard. I think this is a prime example of the devil's chickens coming back home to roost.
Oh my God. What's amazing is he posts, Mike posts a Instagram post from Ethan, highlighting Mike from PA and specifically speaking to a larger issue of extremist rhetoric on Twitch. And then Mike goes, you know, he says, "I do not call for violence, and to say that I do right after a public figure suffered an assassination attempt is dangerous. He should know better. What the hell?" And then right after, I got to show you guys this, right after he posts that, he retweets Charlie Kirk saying, "Did I just get shot by an AR-15? Feels like it." Like right after that. And then he post this like Malcolm X quote. Like, they all just posture to try to look as radical as possible, but what they end up doing is they just make themselves look like fucking lunatics. Fox News, they're fucking dialing up the rhetoric.
This hits differently because Charlie was one of us, and Trump gets hit in the ear. Charlie gets shot dead. They came after Kavanaugh with a rifle to his neighborhood. They went after Musk's cars. They just shot 2 Jews outside the embassy. Think about it. Scalise got shot, barely survived.
This is really dangerous rhetoric to lump everybody in, you know, the entire left, that we're just some big sort of amalgamation of ideology, I guess. We're all just one big they. You know, the kid who took a shot at Donald Trump was like a little fucking right winger who was a gun club enthusiast. But all of that just goes right out the window. And unfortunately, we live in a time where just, you know, there's a lot of people that don't place a heavy emphasis on responsible coverage of things. It's a problem that's not even exclusive to one side or the other. And I just can't think of a more irresponsible way to talk about this. To immediately frame it as they are coming after us. That's the kind of stuff that motivates other people, other insane, violent people, to go out there and do acts of violence themselves. It's just so irresponsible and divisive and toxic and just the worst possible thing that you could add to the conversation. But he knows his audience are pissed. Like, this is why I'm worried about what Trump's going to do, because, you know, these people are fired up, man. They are fired up right now, and they want their pound of flesh. And I think Trump's going to try to do something to give it to them. Ace with $5. Thomas Matthew, the guy who tried to endgame Trump the first time, didn't even have motives, let alone political ones, that people could pin down. Yeah.
It's happening. We've got trans shooters.
Oh, God, what did Marcus say?
They are at war with us. Whether we want to accept it or not, they are at war with us. And what are we going to do about it? How much political violence are we going to tolerate? And that's the question we're just going to have to ask ourselves. Now, Charlie would want us to put as much pressure on these people as possible. Dana nailed it. This is unacceptable and has to stop. And it has to stop now. And everybody's accountable. And we're watching what they're saying on television and who's saying what. The politicians, and the media.
They're going to run montages, you guys. I'm just telling you, away, like, apart from the, like the human conversation about somebody being murdered, right? The political conversation looks like they are going to compile an endless dossier of some of the most inflammatory tweets you could possibly imagine. They're going to plaster it in a montage. This shooter made a martyr out of Charlie Kirk, quite frankly. We can just call a spade on that one. And I think a lot of like political normies are going to see some of the unhinged responses. I'm losing my voice. I've been talking all day. And I think it's going to work too, by the way. I think it will work, by the way. I think it will work. We're already at a time where my voice is just fucking gone. We're already at a time where, you know, a lot of Americans think the Democratic Party has gone too left. They're going to use the unhinged responses to this horrific murder, and they will benefit politically from this. 1,000%, it's going to happen. And all the people that are doing these like celebrations on Twitter, congratulations. Like, you're literally making MAGA stronger by doing that. I think it's just like the shooter himself was selfish. And then the unhinged responses to this, people that are just impulsively acting on their contempt for Charlie Kirk and what he was doing. And they're just fucking vomiting, you know, the worst takes possible. They're gonna fucking document all of these. They're gonna run entire hour-long segments on Laura Ingraham about, you know, all the unhinged responses that people saw on the left. And they are going to convince people that the political violence that we're seeing across the spectrum these days, they are going to convince a lot of normies that this is a problem that, you know, is more prevalent on the left, when that's just like simply not true. Like, don't make their fucking job easier. Bosun, you're saying I'm coping so hard. What am I coping with? I'm telling you exactly what they're going to do. They're going to do this. They want you to say the most crazy things right now. They are chomping at the bit. They're salivating for an opportunity for them to use the things that you say and do to further their agenda. You know, and this is at a time where Donald Trump is like very politically vulnerable. His support is just fallen off of a cliff. It's just also fucking predictable. Like, it's also predictable. We got to lock the fuck in, man. It's just, first of all, don't be deranged. But second of all, if you're feeling deranged, don't post about it. Don't fucking post about it. You have no idea. It's going to be random Twitter users. You guys understand? They're going to do, like, I guarantee you, Fox News, the producers are sitting in a room right now, combing through social media and finding the most deranged post from complete random people. And they're going to run a montage of this shit. And normies are going to see this and they're going to be like, oh my God, the fucking Dems have lost their minds. It's so fucking predictable. How can you rationalize the less coverage in response to the Catholic children shooting just a couple weeks ago? Deaths are weaponized on both sides. How do you rationalize the less coverage? I think it's just because, like, I understand what you're saying. In a rational world, we would prioritize like the death of like little kids at mass, you know, in a church. What a horrifying shooting that was. First of all, I mean, we did talk about it, but like, second of all, like, you know, he was a very famous guy and this was a brutal murder that was caught in fucking 4K, you know, from 10 feet away. So I'm not saying it's right that we spend more time talking about Charlie Kirk than kids. I'm just explaining why it happens. And that's just the way that human beings work. And I just don't really understand the logic, you know, like, deaths are weaponized on both sides. Okay. But I mean, that doesn't mean you have to do that. Like, you don't have to be deranged on Twitter today. I promise you. You can have the thoughts. It's fine. You're going to have your thoughts. We're all going to have our thoughts. I'm going to have thoughts. You don't have to share every thought like in real time in a moment like this. And I just think we're already so hyperpolarized politically to a degree that is very unhealthy. I mean, like, the movie Civil War was speaking to this problem, you know. The one that came out in 2023 or 2024. And the problem's only getting worse. And something like this, I just imagine if more violence happens, it's just like, you know, it's really easy to see just the wheels falling off.